forged a close solidarity, and we are investing our efforts in a very committed fashion. And we've discussed what we could do further in the future in these aspects, and what kind of joint steps could be taken forward in the field of defense industry were all taken into consideration. And Madam Prime Minister will have yet another round of meetings with the Prime Minister of the Republic of Turkey, whereby I believe they will take these discussions and the deliberations to the next level. And the process, as of now, between the UK and Turkey will be enjoying a very different nature and a very different position. And in the economic field, the current trade volume is $15.6 billion. And within the first phase, we hope and pray that this trade volume will be increased up to $20 billion, and this is the objective we have identified for the nearest future. This is something I've cordially offered Madam Prime Minister, and we have discussed a strategic partnership related issues, and this step had been taken many years ago now, and this is going to be sustained in an uninterrupted fashion. Every year we will get together in order to discuss where we're coming from and where we're headed. The relevant counterparts at the level of ministers or at the level of prime ministers, this strategic partnership will be strengthened and consolidated, and I'm sure this is going to be a wonderful way to follow. This is another issue that we seem to agree. And another important step has got something to do with exploring further areas of cooperation between the UK and Turkey, namely in the field of energy. It's a strong possibility to cooperate further in energy generation and transmission, and in the defense industry we can further cooperate. TFX is a project that we will take joint steps forward, and this is going to be very important for our nations. And we might take steps forward in terms of the drones, the predators, which we've discussed extensively today, and the determination that both parties seem to enjoy render us very content. A Turkish company investing in the UK is a very promising development. They are going to produce and manufacture boats there, and it is a wonderful development. The Turkish companies entering the British market are all very satisfying developments and news. The investments of the UK in Turkey will be strengthened, which will make us very happy to see. I see this determination, I see this ambition within Madam Prime Minister that I need to highlight. Of course, in the region, Syria, Iraq, are some outstanding questions which are of Herculean significance for the UK and Turkey. The cooperation of Turkey and coalition forces will be sustained in the future within a different framework. We need to introduce a different concept for our commitment. We've also discussed the Astana process, and we've elaborated and assessed on the developments there, which is going to be followed by the Geneva process. We've also discussed discussed that issue extensively. Another question had got something to do with Cyprus, because we are namely the three guaranteeing countries as Turkey, Greece, and the UK. In Cyprus, we've discussed what could be done further, what additional steps could be taken forward, and between ourselves, we've discussed these issues at every length possible, whether it be the working luncheon, whether it be during the tete-a-tete meeting. I'm personally very pleased to see these joint steps taken forward collectively. I believe in the future of our relations. I believe in our success for the future. Our intelligence agencies, our defense authorities will have their own discussions and deliberations. Thus, the process between our nations will be even smoother and stronger. And I would like to thank you. And now, with pleasure, I would like to turn the floor over to Madam Prime Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you for the invitation to join you for these discussions that we've had today, and very fruitful discussions between us. Turkey is one of the UK's oldest friends. Our relations stretch back over 400 years, but there is much that we can do in the future to build on that relationship together. I'm proud that the UK stood with you on the 15th of July last year in defence of your democracy. Now it is important that Turkey sustains that democracy by maintaining the rule of law and upholding its international human rights obligations, as the government has undertaken to do. We've discussed, as the President has said, a number of important issues today, from Cyprus, where we are committed to playing our parts in an early settlement, to Syria, where we're working together to fight Daesh and create the conditions for peace. We are also agreeing to step up our work together on aviation security with a programme of shared training and information exchange. You mentioned, Mr. President, the opportunities for enhancing the trade between our two countries, and we've discussed that, and we both want to build on our existing links. And I believe that doing so will be to the benefit of both our countries and for the prosperity of both our nations. And we have agreed that we will have a joint working group to prepare the ground for our post-Brexit trading relationship. So we have covered quite a range of subjects today. What has underpinned our discussions has been the opportunity for Turkey and the UK to build on our existing relations, which, as I say, have stretched back many years, to our mutual benefit for the future. So thank you, and I look forward to maintaining these talks with your Prime Minister later today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So there we go. There are no questions to be taken at this press conference, I believe, although they are scanning the crowd. No, there we go. No questions. Just a short statement from each of them. President Erdogwan saying that he's hoping to increase the volume of trade with the UK from $15.6 billion to $20 billion. They're aiming to increase their joint steps in defence, also in further areas of cooperation such as energy generation. Theresa May is also going to be meeting the Prime Minister and the representatives from the defence industry to talk about those issues in a little bit more detail. Theresa May herself then, after that, saying they've set up a joint group, a working group, to prepare the ground for post-Brexit relations. And at one point, the correspondents on the trip have been saying it's very important to maintain human rights and the rule of law. So the photographers there are all going in to get those pictures that will hit the papers tomorrow, of course.